All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a shadow network that's pulling the strings in Turkey. We're talking a billion-dollar web of illegal betting, money laundering, and some seriously high-level corruption. You're not going to believe this. Let's get right into it. Okay, just picture this for a second. You're running a massive criminal empire, and you're moving millions of dollars every single day. But here's the crazy part. You're a complete ghost online. No footprint. That's the real mystery here. The man supposedly at the top of this pyramid has immense power, but digitally, he barely exists. So who is this guy? Well, according to our source material, we're talking about a ghost in the machine, a central figure allegedly connecting this sprawling network of illegal betting, massive money laundering, and some of the biggest names in Turkish media and politics. So how does something like this even get started? Well, to really get it, you've got to go back to its roots. A single change in Turkish law created this huge power vacuum, and a whole new generation of criminals just rushed right in to fill it. The source lays out this really clear path to power. It all kicks off when physical casinos get banned. Suddenly, the entire game moves online, and the Garipoğlu family, they were the pioneers. And that's where our guy, Anıl Uzun, gets his start. He's handling cash for their VIP clients. We're talking politicians, celebrities, athletes, and keeping all their transactions off the books. But the real game changer, that was in 2016 when PayPal got banned in Turkey. This created a massive opening for all these unregulated payment companies to just pop up, and they became the perfect way to move dirty money. So after some legal heat back home, Uzun moves his whole operation to the UK, which becomes his new nerve center. Okay, so this is where things get really wild. We're talking about the world of international football. So the source tells us that Anıl Uzun co-founded this payment company called Jeton. And look, this wasn't just some small-time operation. It quickly became one of the biggest payment processors for the illegal betting and forex markets in Turkey. It was a key piece of financial machinery for the whole network. And this is where it all spills out into the open. Jeton becomes an official sponsor of Hull City, an English football club. And who owns Hull City? Acun Ilıcalı, one of Turkey's most powerful media moguls. So suddenly, the Jeton brand, a key tool in the legal industry, is slapped right on the jersey of a totally legitimate English football team. And get this, Jeton wasn't even the only sketchy sponsor. Hull City also partnered with sportsbet.io, a site that is, flat out, an illegal betting platform in Turkey, which is its main market. Now, you'd think, right, that a club would maybe want to be a little quiet about partnering with a company that's illegal in its owner's home country. Nope. A Hull City commercial executive was surprisingly direct about it. I mean, this quote right here, it says everything. The club is literally saying the partnership is great because the site has so many users in Turkey, the very place where it's illegal. The allegation here is just a textbook money laundering scheme. You take the dirty money from Turkey, you wash it clean through a fancy-looking football sponsorship in the UK, and allegedly the club owner's company gets its. So this all begs a huge question, right? How can someone at the center of a billion-dollar illegal enterprise operate so openly? Well, the source points to one thing: a powerful political shield. Okay, so check out this web of connections. According to the source, the person running Anıl Uzun's entire legal department is allegedly the daughter of a former deputy prime minister. Her husband, who works for one of Uzun's gambling sites, is the son of a high-ranking official in the Directorate of Religious Affairs. It's this, impenetrable wall of protection that allegedly makes the network's leader completely untouchable. And believe me, this thing isn't just stuck in Turkey and the UK. No, this money trail, it crisscrosses the entire globe. Yeah, this is straight out of the criminal mastermind playbook, right? Offshore havens. The source claims the network uses Caribbean nations to buy new passports and citizenships for key people. This allows them to create brand new identities, set up shell companies, basically make the money impossible to trace. And the source gives us a perfect example of this in action. It alleges that Garipoğlu, one of the patriarchs of the family that basically started this whole industry, was able to buy a foreign citizenship with direct help from Anıl Uzun. It just shows you how this whole alleged ecosystem works. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. The source breaks it down into this clear 4-step process. Step 1, you've got the money coming in from illegal betting in Turkey. Step 2, it gets cleaned up through all these payment firms and, those social media influencers you see with the supercars. Step 3, it gets shipped off to those offshore accounts in places like the Caribbean. And then the final step, step 4, That money gets pumped back into the legitimate system through businesses like Turkish gold refineries, which the source alleges are involved in refining so-called blood gold from places like Venezuela. Okay, so you've probably seen the headlines in Turkey, right? All these social media stars and flashy criminals getting arrested for money laundering. But here's the thing. According to the source, that's completely missing the point.
Think of those arrests as just the symptom. These are the public faces, the disposable parts of the machine. The influencers who are, let's be honest, paid to look rich, and the low-level guys living it up. Yeah, they make for great news stories, but they're so easy to replace.
But this is the disease, the real system underneath it all. The payment companies, the offshore accounts, and most importantly, that high-level political protection. That whole engine, it just keeps on running, completely untouched. So when you see a few influencers getting arrested, what you're really seeing is just a show. It gives the illusion that something is being done, while the real machinery, the system that's draining billions from the country, it just keeps chugging along. The source has this perfect way of putting it. It's like trying to empty a flooding bathtub with a thimble while the faucet is still on full blast. The effort looks like it's doing something, but it's not actually solving the problem. And really, that's what it all comes down to. The faces you see on the news, they don't really matter. They're interchangeable. The real power players, the so-called ghosts, like Ana Lazon, they're allegedly safe and sound in the shadows, completely protected, while their pawns are the ones who take the fall. So, all of this leaves us with a pretty tough question, doesn't it? When the whole system is the problem, are these big, splashy arrests actually a solution, or are they just a very clever distraction?